And we are live, finally, after many, many moons. We are back with session 7 of our Drowned Gods campaign, and we will get started, as always, with who wants to give the recap for an extra hero point, and everyone remember to reset your hero point pool to 1.
I looked at my thing and I thought I had 14 hero points, and I was like, "What?" And I was looking at my hit points. Okay,
Dang, man, you
it's,
were you were just knocking it out of the park last session. If we gave you 14 hero points,
I really was. Not to toot my own horn.
yeah.
I'll give the recap.
Alrighty.
So we came back down the mountain with
Okay,
the old fellow.
and you,
Uh,
you skipped like a whole bunch of stuff that happened before you did
that
that, though.
happened. Like I thought that was the session before where we threw our tokens in.
I think, well, throwing the tokens in was the session before, but there was some
Yeah.
stuff that happened right at the beginning of last session, right after you guys all threw in your tokens and leveled up.
Well, didn't we just talk to the old fellow?
Well, you did talk to the old fella.
Yeah. Then we
And then he said he was heading down the mountain,
Yeah, and we followed him.
but something caught your eye.
Oh, that's right. My precious. I found a very cool stone that seems to point towards the volcano. Well, it doesn't seem, it does.
Yes.
Always points to the volcano. It's very cold. And I like it a lot. It's
Yeah.
very, very precious to me.
And no one
Um,
was able to identify it, but Sammy did have some advice.
yes, she did.
So Sammy suggested that you might take
Oh, we
it,
could use, yeah, I'm sorry.
but she suggested you might take it to her mother, Pele, who you will
Yeah.
also remember is the wife of Loki.
She's like, yeah, she's kind of like the witch doctor.
Yes.
Um,
And
and
then
then we
now
went.
you can finish your thought. You can use it for
We can use it for like navigating and building maps, so we always know where like the home island is, and we can center our exploration out from this volcano.
exactly.
It's a geographic North Pole of our exploration, of our soon-to-be exploration.
Yeah, you're just gonna turn into like the island equivalency of like heliocentricity, except where you're just like this is the center of the world because it's our island and our rock points to it.
Exactly, exactly. We'll just develop a neat mythos around it. I like this. I like where this is going. Um, Then we kind of learned about fire, except I think all I learned was I can't really start one. Uh, Everybody else seemed to do fine. Um, then we went down the mountain and into the big celebration, and PPOP's father's a player.
Yes, yeah, we
I
did we
think
did
that was
find that out. So yeah, so you guys
my
went
mistake.
back and were rejoined the village and were greeted by Pele and the rest of the village. And yeah, do you remember who Akalupu ran into?
Akalupa ran into his big little brother,
Mm-hmm.
who was a midget.
And do
But
you remember his name? Because I bet Anna doesn't either.
uh, is his name Minalupu?
Minalupu. His
It's
name is
Mini
just
Loop.
Mini Me.
Maybe. um, I do not remember his name.
Does
Don't think.
does Anna remember her brother's name?
Nope.
All right. Would you like me to post it in the chat so that you can put it in your notes?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm assuming you're taking notes anyway. I have no proof of that. But yeah,
Oh,
Pawala-
Pawalaka.
I don't know why I almost call him Pawalaski.
But no, Palaka.
Where's my notes? There we go. Palaka. Can I not add to this? I guess I'll just add to my own.
And then, do you remember who you ran into? Or should I say, do you remember who Manawanui ran into?
I thought I ran into nobody.
That's
Right?
right. You ran into nobody because you are not only an orphan, you're also an albino, which makes you a freak and nobody likes you.
Yeah, basically.
Not actually. You're also not albino. You're just pale
Yeah.
compared to everyone else, and you
I
don't
just
seem to
have
tan like
sensitive
they do.
skin.
But yes, the sad little orphan, Manawanui.
Yeah, I just like chilled by myself
Yeah.
with my
Pele
bird.
came over and talked to you a little bit. But that
Yeah,
was it. You didn't have any family
no
members to say
friends.
hi.
Just Archibald.
No, you stared off into the middle distance into the sea,
Yeah,
and
look at the horizon.
I feel like you had some sort of vague memory of something, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
It was something like, yeah, crashing.
Yeah, some foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's what we, with my bird whose name has always been Archibald and nothing else.
You mean Reginald?
Reginald. Good old Reggie.
Abe, where are my notes?
Basically, legitimately, I'm looking around my uh little interface here looking for where I put my notes or where the notes are.
Yeah.
It would also just be like really funny if your bird's name just like changed every session to like some other very British sounding name.
Well, that's what happened to Manawanui's old friend that he threw
Yeah.
into the volcano. The
Oh, that's
coconut
right,
with
my
the face on
coconut.
it.
Yeah.
Its name
Good old,
changed every time.
yeah, you know.
Good old
Hey,
Barbara, the coconut.
listen.
Gotta love Dan the coconut.
Oh, that's funny. Poor old coconut. Good old coconut. Served me well.
Yeah.
You know, it's had its time to go. If I could ever, here are my notes. Okay.
And then one other thing that did happen before you headed down from the old hermit's hut was you went and you helped Sammy with washing the dishes. Actually, this might have been the last time when she was
Yeah, that was
talking about the sources of
before.
your power.
And she was kind of talking about how hers kind of was manifested at like when she like started to like mature or hit puberty or something.
Yeah, and
And
when she ran into her pet
her
rat Chi Chi.
familiar, yeah.
But one thing I
Yeah.
do remember for sure happened last time was Akalupu had a run in with a goat, or no, a sheep, right? Somebody
Yeah.
tamed sheep.
And
I think it was a goat.
I have to look this up every time. You'd think I would remember it at some point. Goods and resources. Semi-domesticated sheep.
I thought he
Yeah.
killed it.
He did kill it, but not before
After
something
it
else happened.
tried to make me less of a man.
Yes, she didn't do great on her roll, and poor Akalupu got kicked right in the nads.
That's right. Good old Akalupu.
Mm.
Always good for a laugh.
But you
You're
also
good
did
for
learn a little bit
mouth.
more about the art of cooking, which is a new thing to you from the old man,
Oh
so
yeah.
that was useful. And yes,
Akalupu
now,
likes cooking.
oh yes, Akalupu, big fan. So yes, you guys have returned to the village now, having become full-fledged adults. You were greeted at the entrance by the call that is normally reserved for warriors and foragers returning from out in the field, and you have been greeted, and the preparations for the feast are were already somewhat underway, but now that you've returned, they are beginning in earnest. There's buzzing activity of people going in all directions trying to get things set up. And PPOP, you're kind of just off minding your own business for the moment. And you see your father, being his usual self, kind of just trying to avoid work and just lounging by one of the coconut trees. When you see a coconut that has come loose from the tree and begins to plummet directly toward his noggin.
Dad, look out!
Right, and hearing you, he looks up and manages to, like, even though it wasn't entirely intentional, his flinch was enough to bring him out of range of the coconut, which slides just mere inches behind him, but instead bounces off of an angled stone and ends up going and hitting the top of a hut. It then rolls off of the hut and is caught by someone who has a basket on their head, and they walk along for a few steps before it catches on a branch, and the branch kind of pushes it over, and it falls into a little stream, and it goes down the stream for a minute, and then you see a bird come by and grabs the coconut and picks it up and pecks at it a little bit, and seeing that it's not actually good for anything, it drops it, and it comes careening down where it almost falls into the ocean when a dolphin backflips out of the ocean and, without even meaning to, just soccer kicks it with its tail, which sends it flying straight back to the tree that your dad was lounging under. It then crashes into the top of the tree, dislodging the entire set of 8 to 12 coconuts that were on it, and they come just rushing down, no chance for him to dodge them, and pummel him from every direction.
Wow. That was sick.
You know, maybe it's not you that's like been cursed. Maybe it's just your family that's just unlucky.
Did anyone else see that? I'm like, my jaw's dropped. I want somebody to have seen that. Is my dad okay?
Yeah, so when you ask if anybody saw that, yeah, you can see a few people actually did see it, and most of them look more amused than anything else. You would know that this is actually not a terribly uncommon occurrence around your father. And yeah, a couple of them are even actively laughing. Pele just kind of shakes her head and mutters something under her breath. You catch the word kapu amongst whatever she says, and you can see your father dazed and just lying on sitting on the ground with almost cartoon-like stars, spinning around his head.
Yo, Dad, you ever think maybe you're doing something to cause this?
So he shakes his head and looks up, and he starts kind of just laughing wryly. Oh, come on, boyo. Or whatever he called you last time. I think he was calling you Sonny last time. Come on, Sonny. You don't really believe in these sorts of things. Superstitions, the gods, the elder spirits, whatever they want to tell you, they don't really exist. I mean, when was the
No.
last time you saw a god?
Well, I don't know that I saw one, but let's just say that I was struck by lightning.
Like father, like son, I guess. We've always been unlucky, eh, Sonny?
The thing is, as soon as I stopped ignoring the shell necklace Kapu, nothing like that happened to me again. And it seems like things are still happening to you.
I don't know. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. I'm too old to change at this point.
Watch this. I pick up one of the coconuts and I throw it at the ocean.
Alright, it splashes into the ocean.
Now you try.
So he looks at you, and you can see his the look on his face. He like clearly doesn't want to admit that he's wrong, but he's definitely like got it's like the whole thing of if you say Bloody Mary into the mirror 3 times, she'll come and get you, and it's fake, but are you sure it's fake? Do you really want to tempt fate, but unable to really just like completely go back on his word. He does grab a coconut and rather gingerly tosses it underhand into the ocean. And then you can see him flinch. But nothing happens, and he eventually relaxes. See what I tell you.
Okay, you believe what you want.
And you will remember when you first ran into him, he was being a little bit lovey-dovey with a girl, which would be a PDA and one of the Kapu. So if you're looking for a chain of events that led to the coconut, that would be where that came from.
See, that's why I don't have to worry about that, because no one loves me.
Exactly. Just remember that you said that.
Mm.
Anyway, yeah. So you gotta walk away, and you for a while you had been kind of on your dad's side. He had talked about this many times, and now though just the evidence is mounting, and you had that experience up on the mountain, and you've become a different man, but perhaps your father will never be able to grow. And as you're kind of thinking these sorts of thoughts, Pele walks up to you, Pipiopi, and she says, Pipiopi, would you mind seeing if you could find Loki? He's actually supposed to give a speech before we start the feast, but I haven't seen him in a little while. I'm not sure where he is. I mean, you could try checking his hut. But yeah, I'm busy with some other things, so if you could grab him real fast and get him out from wherever he's hiding, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You got it. Seems weird that you don't know where he is.
Actually, that's pretty normal. Loki does what he wants, if you hadn't noticed. I've long since given up trying to keep track of him. He shows up eventually, most of the time.
Well, where should I send him?
Oh, just send him up to the beach over here.
Will do.
He's probably just decided to, I don't know, prank a swarm of bees or something.
Okay, I want to go find Manawa Nui and Nakalupu to help me with this errand.
Alright. Manawa Nui, Akalupu, what are you up to?
I think I'm.
Pick up a coconut to bring with me.
I
think
you find
I'm.
are you looking for like one that's already been had the husk removed, so it's just like this typical like brown coconut that's with the fibers, or are you looking for one of the ones that's like big right off the tree?
Big right off the tree, like rugby ball shaped, for some serious sport.
Okay, yeah, you find one easily enough in the pile where your father was earlier. He seems to have wandered off somewhere in the meantime. You see him off down the beach, just like, I don't know, picking up shiny shells and shoving them in his bag.
What a loser.
Where's?
Alright. So, Manawa Nui.
Yeah, so I'll just start playing catch with myself on my way to find the others.
Nice.
Whoopsies.
You're struck by lightning. No. Akalupu, are you over there like in a double headlock with your brother, seeing who can knock down the other person first?
Basically.
And you've just stood up, but you can't figure out how to throw him down without getting down yourself. So you're at a stalemate at the moment.
Basically. Like at this point, I'm kind of just wearing him as a scarf.
Exactly. What about Manawanui?
I think I'm still just like sitting by the shore, like a little bit off.
Just
like,
throwing pebbles into the ocean, trying to pretend
Yeah.
that you're not crying on the inside.
Basically, I'm like, oh no, I'm not with people because I'm doing this.
Because I don't want
That's
to be
why.
with people. So yeah.
Exactly.
If I was with people, I couldn't be throwing stones into the ocean. Come on.
All right. You are now aware of where they are to get to them, PPOP.
Are they within throwing distance?
Definitely, but I think that it's a 15-foot range increment for like what's it called? Like in items that are not actually intended to be weapons, improvised weaponry. So yeah, you could definitely try. 50 and 55. We'll say.
Okay, I lob one up in the air, and as it's leaving my hand, I yell, "Manawanui, think fast!"
All right, let's get an attack roll. This is just going to be your base attack bonus plus your dexterity because you're throwing an item. And then it is 3 range increments away. Is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, it's 3 increments past the first. So that is going to put it at a -6.
Wait, but I'm throwing it at Manawanui.
Oh, never mind. 50 feet. I think that's still 45. Right? No. Why am I bad at math? That is a very good question. I think that's 2 range increments past the first, right?
Yes.
So, yes, it's going to be a -4.
And what's my roll?
It's going to be a d20 plus your base attack bonus plus dexterity. Assuming base attack bonus is still a thing in Pathfinder 2.0. I feel like it is. Basically, look, grab your knife, tell it you're throwing it, because they'll have rules for that, and roll whatever that says. -4.
Is that combat? Dagger? Ranged?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
I
your range
rolled.
strikes are +7.
Okay, so that's a 22 plus my dexterity bonus, which is 4, is a 26.
Well, the 7 already uses your dex bonus.
Oh, then it's a 22.
Okay, 22. I'm pretty sure that that's gonna hit Manawanui. What's your AC? Oh yeah, that super hits Manawanui. But we'll get a reflex save to see whether or not
I
you just
wasn't
get
trying to
beamed in
hit
the
him,
head.
I was just trying to feed him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you threw it to him, right? To
Yes.
catch. So
Yes.
depending on his reflex save, which is going to determine whether or not he reacts in time, he's either
Hell
going to
yeah.
get beamed in the head or potentially catch it, or at least avoid some of getting beamed in the head.
All right, let me see.
So your reflex is a +5.
dear. I got a 9.
All right, yeah. So you manage to turn around and be like, "What?" And then it
Just-
smashes directly into your cheekbone. Luckily, you weren't like straight on, so it didn't break your nose, but it did just smash right into your face. Manawanui, roll me, or not Manawanui, PPOP, roll me d6 plus your dex.
D6 plus my dex.
Correct. So it's gonna be +4.
Yeah. Oof.
All right.
Really belted it.
Mono Inui, you take 5 points of bludgeoning
Oh,
damage. So yeah, you
my
take.
goodness.
You're like not concussed, but it like it's close.
You got a bloody nose.
Well, it didn't hit you in the nose, thankfully, but you have one heck of a bruise that's gonna be growing right on your your
Oh my
cheekbone.
goodness.
Just knocks you out, and you'll just land face first in the ocean.
But
You
on the
have
upside, he seems less hurt than your dad, so I'll give you that.
There we go.
Mono Anu, you alright? Throw it back.
Is the coconut even around me? I feel like it would have like bounced off my face into the ocean.
No, it went up and then it landed in your hands as your stunned look is just accusingly staring back blankly at PPOP.
I think I'm just gonna like just kind of an autopilot, just like it's like okay, and throw it back. You know, I'm not like quite sure what's happened, but like my autopilot's kind of taken over at this point.
There you go. Yeah,
You know.
PPOP, you need to stop yelling at people while coconuts are going toward them. I feel like so far.
So far, I'm 2 for 2.
Alright.
So I'm taking a running start towards him because it seems like he's not going to be able to throw it to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it does not get super far, but yeah, you catch it easily enough. Tends to be easier to catch things that you actually know are coming at you more than half a second before they slam into you.
Hey, you gotta think fast. You gotta have your reflexes up.
I guess.
It's a dog eat dog world out there.
This is interesting conversation. I was gonna say I forgive you, but like I mean like I don't know. It doesn't seem like you're very apologetic.
No, I'm just kidding. Here, have my healing seaweed. I don't know. What do we have for swelling on your face?
Sure, yeah. Grab some seaweed out of the ocean. It's cooling, I'm sure. Slap it on his face.
Yeah, wrap
I'm
it
sure
around. Give him like an eye patch for his black eye.
There we go.
Accidentally
I'm
grab
sure-
the
I'm
squid,
sure this is
squid
doing
starts eating
something.
his eyeball.
Thank you. I suppose. Am I on mute? Oh no.
No, you're good.
Okay. Cool. I put it on mute briefly because I was steaming milk, and I was like, oh man.
Now, is that what you kids are calling it these days?
Don't worry about it. Just gotta steam some milk. Can I? Is there any reason why you've like come here, or just want to play catch, or?
Yeah, I thought we would hang out.
Oh, cool.
Also, I need to go find Loki, and I didn't want to do that by myself because that guy scares me.
Oh, I mean that's understandable. He is a bit of a weirdo. That's kind of coming from me, so you know.
Sorry for hitting you in the face with the coconut.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Let's get Akalupu. Hey, Akalupu, think fast.
Okay, let's get that roll again. So D20 plus 7. And
20.
Akalupu is flat-footed because he's not like trying to avoid flying coconuts. So let's see. Is that gonna hit Akalupu? Why don't I have this thing? Come on, I just want to see the overview. Stage. Here we go. That's much better. All right, Akalupu is an AC of 14. Did you leave raging on? That feels really low.
Yeah, I think raging might be on. I'm going in there and trying to figure out.
Yeah. Anyway, regardless, that's still enough. So yeah, Akalupu, let's get a reflex save. You got a +4 in that.
Reflex save. I got a 20, so I rolled 16
Nice.
+4.
All right. So with a great roll like that, you have 2 choices. Actually, 3. You can catch it. You can get your brother to catch it, or you can move your brother as a human shield, and he can quote unquote catch it.
Definitely the last one.
All right. So, hearing Think Fast, Akalupu spins around, sees the coconut coming in, and in a slow motion sniper shot, as the coconut is doing like the whole bullet spin and everything, it comes beaming in, and Akalupu leans over to the side just right so that you can see the coconut come and just careen into his brother's face. You know, the whole slow motion shot of his, face deforming and wrinkling, and you can see his arms finally go slack. And as we catch up to normal speed, Akalupu has his hands up in a victory as his brother slumps down onto the ground.
You were supposed to catch it.
Hey, it's not my fault he caught it with his face.
He could take it. Nice work.
And yeah, I've already forgotten his name.
It's like Pawalaki?
Pawalaka? Pawalaka? That sounds right. Yeah, Pawalaka. Already, shaking the cobwebs out of his head and getting up to his feet, says, "I saw that! You 2 over there!" And then falls over backward. And then just starts laughing uproariously.
Is he gonna be okay?
Oh yeah.
I'm
This happens to him all the
fine!
time.
You throw like a girl! Use a rock next time! They're almost as hard as my head!
He's a good sport. Hey, Akalupu, I'm off to find Loki. You want to come?
Oh yeah.
You can be my body man.
Akalupu loves to hunt.
So as Akalupu steps off towards you guys, you see that Palaka has already managed to burrow himself into the sand, and as Akalupu takes a step over, Palaka's hand darts out, grabs him by the ankle, and trips him. And then burrows off in another direction, with laughter still filtering out of the sand.
And Akalupu is laughingly saying as he's spitting sand out of his mouth, "Stupid land shark."
Alright. So, all 3 of you are now gathered together in your quest for Loki. You've accepted the quest. You can see it in your log now. You still got the check mark above Pele's head is turned blue to indicate that it's a quest in progress and not a new quest. Your mini map has a big circle that covers the whole village that says "Find Loki in this location."
I think we
Yeah,
should.
let's go ask Sammy if she's seen him.
Oh, Sammy's his daughter. That's right.
Let's
Do we know where
march.
Sammy is?
I see her.
Yeah, so you guys, you see Sammy. She and her sister and some of the other people are preparing a traditional feast time treat. They've got a large container of macerated plant matter that they are
What kind of plant matter?
preparing. Macerated.
Go look
Is that
at
like Is that like meshed together and like?
No,
I'm gonna
that
guess
means
it's kind of like chewed.
yes.
Oh,
Haha.
To become softened by soaking in liquid.
Yes. So it's a feast time treat. One of the few times that you are able to get fruit, as according to the Kapu, only the chief and those he allows to can eat fruits, if you remember. And yeah, it is a mixture of fruit and a mildly hallucinogenic tuber that is chewed up by the women of the tribe and then allowed to ferment.
well, there you go.
That
And
sounds
so-
dope. Pun intended.
Yeah, it is something you look forward to every year. Even the children are allowed a small amount, but now that you are adults, you will be getting more than your metaphorical thimbleful.
We tripping tonight, boys.
Exactly.
Sounds like a good time. I'm gonna try and like sneak just a little bit.
So
It's off to the side.
an older lady with a stick smacks you across the back of the hand and says, "Wait for the feast, youngin'. There'll be plenty to go around. Don't worry about that." She smiles with her gap-toothed smile and 3 teeth. "I may not have many left, but they sure do some work."
oh, okay.
And when I say 3 teeth, I don't mean
grandmother.
literally 3 teeth, but yeah. She does not have all her teeth, which is typical. If you manage to get at all old in this society, you're not going to have all your teeth.
Makes sense.
Hey, Sammy.
Yeah?
Can you sneak us some of the goods?
Shh.
Can you sneak us some of the goods?
Maybe. Probably.
Here, meet me behind the hut.
Not now. Later.
Okay. Have you seen your stepdad?
You're just assuming it's stepdad?
Yeah, 'cause he's a dick and she's not.
Nice. Well, Jason has spoken it into existence, and Loki is now her stepdad. Not really. I haven't actually seen him. Normally he would have come down to greet the group when they came back. But nobody seems to have seen him.
Any ideas?
I don't know. You could check his hut. That'd be a good place to start. Check Pele's hut, or well, check Mom's hut. And if not, I don't know. Sometimes he hangs around that cave. She kind of points toward the back of the village.
Okay, let's check out his hut and look for clues. I say to Manawanui and Akalupu.
All right.
Sounds good.
I'll see you later, Sammy.
Okay.
Wink, wink.
she like doesn't wink, but then Chi-Chi does on her shoulder. But Sammy
Yeah, I
just
tell ya.
Creepy.
but Sammy just blushes furiously and looks down at what she's doing.
That mouse is no bueno, guys. Something up about it.
Alrighty. So you guys head off to Loki's hut. It's easy enough to find. It's one of the tribe elders, and the tribe is not that big, so you're pretty much familiar with where everybody's hut is. Loki, being a bit of an interesting character and also well known for blowing up his own hut from time to time, does not share his hut with the rest of his family.
It's a good thing.
So so you head in, and you can see throughout the hut there are various interesting concoctions and things sitting in coconuts and other containers, and there are a couple of rather odd-looking lizards that are just kind of hanging from the roof, staring at you. And let's get a perception check from PPOP.
Perception. That's not combat. That would be actions, skills.
I think they actually did put it in combat because we
You get
keep
to grab
not
your
finding
hit
it.
point.
I think it's in combat because it's used for
Oh,
initiative. now.
perception. Yeah.
But I remember that being confusing because it used to be in skills.
26.
Nice. All right, so as soon as you enter, a familiar scent, and you're surprised that you can actually pick it out, but because you've been smelling it so much. But you smell a rather particular tree sap, one that might have been used to glue sticks to your entire body.
That mother?
But you like the scent that's been on you has slowly been suffused with sweat, and you can tell this is fresh and uncut.
What's this guy up to now?
And you can see a few drips on the ground leading out of the hut.
Follow the yellow brick road. The breadcrumbs.
All right, so since you did absolutely blow away that perception check, I'll just let that continue into your tracking, and yes, you managed to pick out a few more and wend your way over to Pele's hut, which you can see that the entrance is dark and covered. So as closed as you can make a hut, since you can't just like close a door. And the scent of the sap is quite strong.
Can I like go and see if I can't peek through some of the cracks in the hut
It's
material?
easy to do.
I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna stealthily sneak up to like not like the front, but kind of like the side of the house.
All right, so you peek through, and it's rather dim inside, and you can see kind of a messy shape on the ground, just a dark shape that seems to occasionally move.
I don't know if this will add anything, but I have low light vision.
Ah, so you see pretty clearly a globule type mess on the ground that twitches occasionally. It seems to be some sort of sticky gelatinous mess. And a low moan occasionally comes out.
Guys, I think he stuck himself to the ground. Am I close enough that anybody else can hear me, or am I just like talking to nobody?
Let's check it out. I want to
Oh.
see what's going on in there.
Alright, so you head in, and sure enough, there on the ground, completely glued to the rock floor, is Loki. And he looks up and he finally sees. He's like, "Oh, thank goodness! Finally, you've got to pull me up. I was trying to prank Pele, but she turned it back on me, and now I'm stuck to the floor, and I've been here for 4 hours."
What's in it for me?
Yeah.
I'm relishing this, turn of the
Revenge.
tables.
Always the enterprising lad, eh? Well, I do have a, he wouldn't use the word solvent, but I'm trying to think of a different word for it. I have a concoction that loosens up this sap, and I can see you're still familiar with it yourself. So, we can both be free of the sap rather painlessly. But I suppose you probably want more than that. What would I want?
Indeed.
What would I want if I were a young man? Let's see.
Give me one of those fancy daggers over there.
Oh, I know. Pele will kill me if I give one of them away, but I suppose if she finds me glued to the floor, it won't be much better, so, deal.
Haha! Upgrade.
Alright. Now, all I need you to do is go into my hut and find the coconut with the blue, milky substance. Bring it here.
Blue,
Akalupu can do
milky
it.
substance.
Akalupu runs out of the building.
Alright, well, unless someone is gonna try to overtake him, Akalupu will definitely get there first. Alright, Akalupu, you have arrived.
Out of the hut and I throw the coconut. try to pick him off on his way.
Alright, let's get another ranged attack.
Dagger. Ranged. I don't need to be penalizing myself for repeatedly attacking with the coconut, do I?
No, that's only within the same turn, and obviously.
Oh, I'm on fire today. 26.
Alright, reflex save, Akalupu.
Over here.
I roll a 19 plus my 4, so I got 23.
Alright, well, sadly, Akalupu ducks your coconut.
Oh.
Or else to turn around and kind of like put my thumbs in my ears, like giant ears, and go.
While running backwards the entire time.
Yes.
Just like not even slowing down.
Yes.
Man, we should really start a football team. We're good at this.
There's only one chance left for you to stop him, PPOP.
Oh no, that was it. That was my one shot.
No, you have to summon his brother to trip him again. Alright, Akalupu, you get
shell.
Exactly. Alright, Akalupu, you get back to Loki's house, well above the rest of them. You probably have like 15 to 30 seconds before anyone else shows up.
Alright, I'm gonna look for the coconut with the blue milky substance in it.
Alright, let's get a perception check. Oh wait, I roll that. Wow. Let's see, what's your perception? +6. Alrighty, well, let's see what you can do with that. Alright, you grab a coconut.
Alright, does it have a liquid substance in it?
Oh yeah.
Alright, I'm going to like, I don't know, just assume that I've got the right one, I guess. Although I'm very
it looks
curious
right
as
to
like,
you.
what it tastes like, so like
It's
I'm
right
kinda,
to
like,
you.
dip my finger, like just like the edge of my pinky into the liquid and like just kind of like taste it just a little bit.
It tastes really good. It tastes like like a spicy ranch sauce with like shrimp.
Oh dear.
It's very, very, very tasty.
Oh,
I'm gonna like start to walk out the door, then kind of like look down at it again, and then kind of sniff it again. And I'm gonna like take a big lick out of it.
Okay. So you sniff it, and it smells kind of weird, but you lick it, and it's just like, this delicious spiciness just rolling across your tongue. And you can feel like you're starting to sweat from the spice, but it's good.
Nice. I'm gonna like find another bowl in here and like kind of pour like about half of it into that bowl, and like hide the bowl so that I can find it later. And then I'm gonna take the coconut with the rest of it out to everybody else.
All right. So at this point, everyone else has shown up, or at least those who are following you. I don't know what Manawanui was doing.
I was kind of like making my way over there while they're having.
Manawanui is
Okay.
just like sticking sticks to Loki.
Actually, can I be looking around like Pele's hut?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right. So PPOP, you catch up breathlessly, finally having caught up to Akalupu, and yeah, he has a coconut with like some blue stuff in it.
I'm gonna keep looking. That seems too good to be true. Is there other blue coconuts?
How well did you hide the other half?
Well, very well, and like mostly I hit it like kind of like almost like there's like a window.
You hit it outside
right?
the
And I,
hut.
hit it like outside the window, like
Okay.
under some stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so you go
I
in,
don't have to like break back in to find it.
and let's get a perception check for PPOP. So let's see. You have a +7. All right. Yeah, you also grab a coconut.
Okay, let's return.
I bet you 5 coconuts that my coconut's the right coconut.
You're on.
Let's do this thing.
All right. So while your friends were off and fetching coconuts full of blue liquids and returning, Manwanui, you're looking around, and you can see that Pele's hut is definitely very different from the others. As the shaman of the tribe, you can see definitely very unusual items, various bones and things that are kind of attached together and strung up, and you can see odd looking markings carved across them. You can also see a skull that has been inset with shiny rocks in its eyes.
Oof.
And she seems to be somewhat of an artist as well. You can see that there are various palm leaves that have been painted using various like natural pigments. And you're not quite sure what they represent, but they're very stylized shapes. Some of them you can kind of guess from the different myths that you've heard before: the great horned whale, the great coconut tree, and various other mythical figures, and the stories, and the children, which were you can see this one that is a painting that shows seeds sprouting up in human form. One that definitely catches your eye, however, and one that you haven't seen before, because Pele has often brought out these little paintings when she's telling stories to the tribe. But this one, it shows the symbology that you're familiar with for the great tree. But while the great tree is usually portrayed in oranges and greens, you can see that this one is portrayed in a rather violent shade of red. And it seems to be angry as it looks down upon a bowl-shaped ocean with small islands floating about in it.
I'm gonna take out my little stone and kind of like see if it's doing anything aside from pointing at the mountain in there.
No, still just pointing straight toward the center of the volcano.
I'm gonna, since I have a captive audience, I'm gonna ask Loki about the. Do you know what this last leaf is depicting?
Of course I know, and you'll find out soon. Pele likes to tell her stories, and you'll hear it, don't worry, very soon.
Can I like discern? I'm sorry.
That's alright, go on.
I was just like, can I like discern anything from like the stuff that's carved on the bones?
Not really.
Is it all just like?
Yeah, most of it's very abstract, kind of like a tribal tattoos, roughly, where it's kind of hard to really see much of what it is supposed to be. Most of it isn't making like obvious shapes, but it all looks to your eye in a way comfortable and familiar in the same way that your crow or the magic spells that you use seem to just feel natural.
I'm gonna pick the skull up and look at it.
Alright, so as soon as you touch it, you feel what feels like a lightning shock. At least what you imagine it would feel like from having watched PPOP get struck.
Yeah, let me touch it. I could tell you what that feels like.
Exactly. Just surges through your body, and you stiffen up and fall over backward. And for just an instant, you feel like you can see a red eye, a single ominous red eye floating in the center of some sort of hard, reflective, mirror-like sheen, almost like when you have occasionally, looked into a pond to try and see your own reflection. But this single eye, just with this red blaze kind of floating off of it. But it's there for an instant and then gone the next.
I'm gonna be a bit dazed for a second.
Oh yes, you are a bit dazed for a second. And you have managed to fall backward directly into the sap. So you and Loki are now sharing a fate. Loki laughs. I didn't get Pele, but at least I got someone. Well, other than myself, of course, but it's a lot less fun when you prank yourself.
Did you see that eye?
What eye?
A big flaming red eye.
Are you sure you didn't hit your head when you fell?
Never
Maybe the sunset? You've been staring at the sunset too long? Burned that into your retinas? Not that he knows what retinas are. Burned that right into the back of your eyeballs? Or maybe you're crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna take advice from you on that.
So he just laughs.
What even is this stuff? I say as I try and pull my arm out.
It's just pine sap that I mixed with a little bit of this and that, to make it stickier. Though I do wish I was a little bit less good at what I do now, he says as he tries to pull an arm free, and you can see it just stretch and then snaps his arm back down. My wife told me I could use this stuff to help the tribe, but I think this is more fun, don't you?
Yeah, lying here in a pool of it, that's exactly what I think. How much funner this is.
Good to know that we're of the same mind.
So do you know anything about Sammy or about the weird things that happen?
Don't know quite what you're talking about, though if you're suggesting I don't know my own stepdaughter, well, you're probably more right than I'd like to admit.
Oh, goodness.
Alright, so, Akalupa, PPOP, you return.
Okay. Which one of these is correct?
I don't know, I can't see anything from down here.
Akalupa doesn't wait for an answer. He just starts dumping it on.
Alright.
Hey, save some. Don't be so liberal. I need...
Alright, so you dump it on, and he's like, all right, now spread it around. What you do?
I start doing like a Swiss massage deep into all of the sap.
And Mana Wanui lets out an involuntary squeak. He's just like, ah. No homo, no homo.
No homo.
But yeah, so you spread it around, and he tries to like pull loose, and he's like, no good, still stuck.
Dang it!
Told ya. All right, my turn. None of that barbecue sauce bullshit.
Hey, you didn't taste, or no, maybe Akaluba told you on the way back how good it tasted and got you. So I don't know.
I saw it all over her fingers.
It's just like smeared around my mouth,
Right.
down my chin.
Did you taste it?
No.
All right, so you're what? You're pouring it on, spreading around. How are you going about it?
I start pouring on the majority of it on the big blob, and then I save a good hunk of it for Loki's head.
All right. So
Hey,
Oopsie, missed.
all right, Manawanu. Manawanu. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, well, save a little bit for me.
Everyone's just ignoring you and pretending you're not.
I know, like I'm just like over here stuck in the sticky stuff, and they're like, eh.
All right.
I'm used to it though.
So you start pouring it on, and for a second, as you start spreading it, you feel like a heat spreading across your hand. And just before you have like really any time to think about it, there's a blinding flash, and you guys are all sent hurtling in a cloud of broken sticks and palm leaves and bones and everything else.
Hopefully, those bones were dead before.
And yeah, as your ears are ringing and your vision slowly comes back, you have absolutely just blown up Pele's hut.
And Loki.
Well, are they free?
Because you guys managed to roll a 3 and a 5.
Ah!
So with your bonuses, that got you a 9 and a 12, which was not good enough to find the right stuff. You needed a 15.
I guess we gotta go back.
So yeah,
Well, now
but
they're free,
the
right?
sap
They
is
blew up.
gone. The sap is gone,
There we go.
including on PPOP. You're set.
It
You are
worked.
no longer glued to sticks.
I was gonna say, are Loki and Manawanui gone as well?
Do they have any hair left?
Surprisingly, yes.
Wow.
Good.
Well,
So Loki
I
just breathes out smoke and goes, "Oh, well, that's one way to get a man free."
I'm gonna pull myself from the wreckage, and I say, guys, we get out of here before everybody else comes here, and they'll just blame Loki.
Speaking of which, I'm getting out of here too. When Pele finds this, I am dead. And he gets up and he starts just like hobbling as quickly as he can off into the jungle. Good luck with the feast, boys.
wait. Did we need him? Don't we need to go get him?
I think we have a little larger problems at the moment.
Where did he
I
go?
think we should.
And yes, indeed, you guys looked away from him for a split second while he was still visible and not that close to the edge of the forest. You look back, nothing.
Oof.
Well, dang.
I say we go check out that cave that not Chi-Chi.
I
But it's
agree.
not
I
raining.
can't tell Pele that we blew up her hut and
Yeah.
didn't get Loki.
Well, who wants to go back up the mountain?
We're just gonna live with the hermit now. The eating's good.
Just stay away from them goats.
See,
Yeah,
now
Kaluku.
you know why he lives there. He didn't actually get all those burns and scars from like the lava off the volcano. It was from when he blew up Pele's house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna take off after Loki towards the forest.
Yeah, Akalupu's definitely following.
I guess I'll go along.
All right. So you guys get like halfway toward the forest when you hear the stern voice, unmistakably, of Pele. And she says, "And where do you think you are going?" And anyone who wants to keep, you can either stop in your tracks or you can try to make a fortitude save to not be shaken by her voice.
I stop in my tracks and I yell, "But we're going to get Loki!"
Well, the damage is already done from the looks of it. And if he's trying not to be found, well, I don't think you're going to get a hold of him. Last time he did something like this, I didn't find him for a month. And you know where I did finally find him?
Where?
He'd found a whale on the beach, cut it open, and stitched himself inside.
My goodness. Okay.
Sounds legit.
So, let me guess. Loki glued himself to the floor of my hut. I did find the sap he left for me. That much I could expect. But then, what? He blew it up?
That was the only way he could get himself free.
That was about it.
And this was his idea.
Oh yeah.
I was stuck to the floor, so I couldn't tell you.
So she just sighs. Well, it's as likely as anything at this point. So she looks around at everything strewn about. I guess if you guys can pile my stuff where the hut used to be, and then join us for the feast.
Yep, we can do that.
Sounds good.
Sure thing.
So you guys pile it up, and actually she says to call her when you're done, not join us for the feast. But yeah, so you guys pile it up, kind of where it used to be. Some of it's broken, some of it's still in surprisingly good shape. The explosion seems to have been like a fairly slow one, more like a non-fiery version of like a. I mean, obviously your characters wouldn't recognize this, but it's more like a fuel explosion, where it's more of a woof, rather than like high explosives, where it's like, right?
I'm going.
But without the flame.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Who picked up the skull to like put it in the pile?
Somehow, surprisingly, skull's right where it was. It's no longer on the thing it was sitting on top of, but it's right where you left it, just directly down.
I'm gonna give it a good clearance.
Does anyone else try to grab the skull?
I'm too busy.
Because Manawanui hasn't warned anyone about it. It is creepy looking, though.
If I come across the skull as I'm cleaning up, then sure.
Alright, you want to roll high-low?
What does that mean?
Like a 50% chance. So, like, you roll a d20 or any size die, and if it's a high roll, then that's like a tails, and low would be heads, or whatever. It's essentially a coin toss.
Did that work?
Yes. Alright,
I
so
rolled
2
high.
on a 1d2, so you do run across the skull.
Okay, I pick it up.
Alright, so you attempt to pick it up. And very similarly to what Manawanui, as soon as you touch it, you can feel a shock running through your body. Every muscle tenses. It is similar to when you got hit by lightning, but not quite the same. It doesn't have the heat or the force behind it, but it affects your body in a very similar way. And you also fall over, stunned into the dirt. And similarly, as you touch it, just for that instant, you see an image, and it looks like a person's face, but their skin is blue, and they look like they're sleeping.
I'm gonna
Jim.
I'm gonna run over to him and say, "Hey, are you okay? Did you see it? Did you see it too?"
I saw it. If it is a weird blue dude.
What? No, dude, I saw an eye. Like a fiery eye.
Well, the blue dude had eyes.
Were they fiery?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, they were closed.
Hey, Akalupu, come look at the shiny thing.
Oh, shiny! I'm gonna go try to touch it.
Alright, so you touch it, and also immediately every muscle in your body, your impressive physique, tenses up, almost ripping your bones to shreds with their pure, awesome strength.
Geez.
You can hear his joints creaking from the strain. And he falls over backward. And in that instant, as everything went black, you saw what appeared to be a long tunnel, and every once in a while, a small cloud, like a gust of cloud, would kind of shoot across, not shoot exactly, but it would kind of go across the tunnel with a hissing noise.
So what'd you see?
I saw cave with a cave that farted. Farting cave. That was a workout, guys. We should do that more often.
This is where you go into the Arnold Schwarzenegger quote where he's talking about how he like tenses everything and pumps up, and he's like, and it's like having an orgasm. I have like a dozen orgasms every day.
Jeez.
If you haven't
take a
heard
step
that,
back.
if you haven't heard that, you should totally look it up. It's hilarious.
I am. I haven't, but I will now.
Well, I don't want to touch it again. Maybe we should ask Pele what it is.
Yeah, but then we'd have to tell her that we kind of like snooped around in her stuff. Well,
we had to clean up her stuff.
I guess that's true.
That's right. You're the only snooper here, Manawanui.
Hey, listen, y'all. Listen. I could have touched it when we were cleaning. Nobody knows. Well, somebody knows, but they're not here, so.
Nobody needs to know.
God knows.
Don't worry about it.
Akalupa's gonna go back to stacking shiny rocks on top of each other.
Yeah, and there are a surprising number of shiny rocks, and PPOP, while you're stacking everything, you do see the knife that Loki promised you among Pele's things.
My precious. I'm assuming it's an obsidian knife. I don't think we have the technology for anything else.
So it's not obsidian, but it is a sharp grayish rock that has been carefully chipped away into a sharpened point. But far sharper and hardier than the sticks that you've been able to craft.
Yeah, I love it.
And so for stone, Instead of a 25% chance of it breaking on any hit, it is a 15% chance of breaking on a hit. And then the same other rules apply. It doesn't break on a critical success. It won't break on a miss unless you throw it, at which point it can break. But like if you're trying to swing it and it just whiffs, it won't break. And it will still always break on a critical fail.
Cool. Well, I think it's almost time to go to the feast, right?
Well, you were supposed to get Pele once you were done stacking her things.
Oh, right.
Yep, sounds good to me. I'll
Akalupu has stacked the shiny rocks into the shape of a shark. He's very proud of himself. The shark even has an eyeball.
Nice. You used one of the like shiny red rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Or did you use your blood rock?
No, I'm keeping that with me.
All right, let's go get Pele.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to find Pele. At this point, the feast is pretty much ready to go, and it's getting to where it's the sun is already starting to set, but it's still fairly light out. It's just starting to dim, kind of the golden hour at this point. But yeah, so you're able to find Pele, and she comes back with you guys, and you see she takes out a staff that she's always carrying with her, that has a goat's skull, one of the, or not a goat, a sheep, but a male sheep. It's a ram. Yes, a ram's skull. With the
Akalupu kind of flinches a little bit.
Yes,
Covers
the,
up down there.
curling horns and everything, and the whole thing has a rather sinister vibe to it. But you can see she starts to chant spells, and you see a beam of light coming out, and you can see as it hits things that they are actually mended back to their original state. And after a few minutes, she actually has her hut and all right back as it was before.
What happened to my shark?
Your shark was off to the side, right? It couldn't have been in the pile with the rest of her stuff.
I mean, it's her stuff though. It was her shiny rocks.
Ah, well,
Yeah, it's kind of.
they are put back. So as she's doing, like things aren't like moving; they're just kind of being repaired. So if any of the rocks were damaged, they go back together, and then she just like kind of tells you where to put things as she's fixing everything up.
Okay.
So what do I do with this skull?
And she says, "Oh, don't touch that." And she steeps down and picks it up herself and puts it in its place. There we go. Much
Theoretically, if I did touch it,
I mean, it certainly
I'm just like,
wouldn't be
moving
a
my
pleasant...
hands, looking at her like.
Well, it certainly wouldn't be a very pleasant experience, I can tell you that much.
But like theoretically, if I saw something, what would be the thought behind that?
Well, if you'd seen something, well, I'd just have to kill you.
Oh, that's a good thing. I didn't
and then she laughs. I'm just kidding. Well, the skull does certainly give you interesting visions. It's an unpleasant experience overall.
For most people.
I can tell you from experience, but for most people, what do you mean for most people?
I look at Akalupu.
Ah, well, some of us are just built different.
Hear that, guy? She said I'm special.
I don't think anybody disagrees, Akalupu.
Absolutely, and she also kind of does a friendly slap on the back. Well, are you ready to begin the feast in your honor? Or do you have anything else of mine that you'd like to touch? And she does look rather meaningfully at Manoanui.
Nope. I think we're all good here.
All right. Well, let us begin then. So she heads out to the village center where they've been preparing everything near the beach. So I guess it's more the beach than the center, but yeah, I mean, it's toward the middle, but it's the beach side. And she kind of gathers everybody around, and she says, "Well, normally my husband Loki would give this speech, but he seems to have decided that he's going to take an extended vacation, and the duty instead falls to our other elder, Bob, if you wouldn't mind." And so Bob Ross, who's been off decorating trees and talking about happy little mountains, comes up and he says, well, good that everyone was able to get together. It's just you really can't put too much emphasis on family and the group spirit that we all have together. And it's a special day when we're able to greet another member into our family as a full-fledged member, ready to do great things, as I'm sure you guys will do. Great guys and gals, every one of you. So definitely wasn't expecting to do this if you couldn't tell, but I guess I just want to say that it's been a great time, and I expect more. And yeah, let's just feast, guys. Come on, let's feast and just enjoy ourselves. All right. So everyone claps. But definitely a little bit muted. His speech was not the greatest, but Bob wasn't really well known for his speeches or his leadership abilities. Not that Loki is too much, but a little better. So yeah, the feast begins, and you can see the sun is just then setting down behind the waves, and everybody watches as it inches down just that last little bit, and thankfully no blue flash, so you guys aren't going to be haunted by your ancestors this night. Or a green flash, I mean. But yeah, so the feast begins, and as the sun sets, you see coming out of the trees and their various sleeping places, the domesticated giant glow bugs that your village uses for light at nighttime begin to stir. And one of them buzzes up to the group and kind of bumps into you. You can't tell for sure if it's trying to nuzzle you or just isn't paying attention to where it's going. We'll say it. Let's roll a d3 and we'll see who it bumped into. So 1 is Jason, 2 is Anna, 3 is Abe. So Akalupu, it bumps into you. And you can see it's singular, large, bulbous eye, kind of looking up at you, and its dangly antenna bouncing around. And this is one that you actually recognize because it has a little bit of a scar running across its glow sack. And it's one that you guys have nicknamed Pleakley.
I'm gonna kind of like, I don't know. Let's see. There's like we got like food and stuff around us, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little bit because we've got that fruit stuff, right?
Yes.
The drugs.
But you don't have any with you.
Aw.
And that doesn't come out until near the end of the feast.
Well, I'm gonna pull out, because earlier before we started eating, I went and I grabbed that bowl of the spicy ranch dip.
Mm-hmm. The
And I'm gonna
totally not explosive spicy ranch dip.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and so I'm going to, as I'm like, kind of have been dipping some of my food in it and eating it. I'm gonna like dip like a little something soft and just kind of like dip just a little piece in it and feed it to Pleakley.
All right, so Pleakley grabs it appreciatively in its mandibles, and you can see it kind of does a kind of a cricket noise with its back legs as it's chowing down.
I'm gonna like pat him on the head and be like, "Yeah, you got good taste, you little buddy. Yeah, just like me."
It then explodes.
Yes, you've killed Pleakley. But no, so yeah, it then kind of slowly buzzes off in another direction.
I'm also gonna share like my dip with my friends, like, but kind of like hushing, like I've got it like in like my like because I've got like kind of like a nice vest type thing on, because we're dressing up and we're supposed to look nice, but it's like clearly like way too small for me. It's like one of those like like the monkey vests where like it's just like this little tiny like. You know what I'm talking about? Does that make any sense?
Like
you guys don't
like a half
really
vest?
have you don't know how to weave, so you can't make fabric.
Well, it's not like fabric. It's just like leaves. It's like a really big leaf that I put holes in.
Okay. Yes, you're wearing a large leaf.
Yeah. So I kind of like open it up a little bit, and like I've got like my bowl in there, and I like kind of like show it to like Manawanui and PPOP. And I'm kind of like, "Hey guys, you gotta try this. This is the best dip ever." And I like grab some like food and dip it in it and like forcibly hand it to them.
Okay, I'll try it.
I'm gonna grab it and watch Fifiofi eat it first.
I take a tiny bite. I chew. I'm thinking. I'm chewing. I swallow.
You don't
Wow,
explode.
it's delicious. That's super good.
Right?
I'm gonna start eating mine too then. Now that I see his satisfied response.
Just don't go back into Loki's hut and try to find another bowl of it and accidentally grab the one that people opened and then eat some of it.
Yeah, we learned not to mix concoctions today.
Alright, yeah. So the feast is now well and truly underway. There's a divider where they've set up a fence of leaves along a line of palm trees between the men's side and the women's side. So you can hear laughter and someone is singing, and you can see the glow from the glow bugs on the other side of the divider, but you can't see any of the women of the tribe over there. And all of you are over on the men's side, and there's a glow bug that they've kind of got kind of in the middle of a seating area, and they're all sitting around telling stories and jokes and laughing loudly. And of course, you are all welcomed in finally. The children, on the other hand, are allowed. They aren't prohibited by the kapu, so you can see them, going around back and forth with no care for which side they are on, just bugging people and enjoying themselves and playing games and throwing rocks and then hiding in bushes and that sort of thing.
Akalupu is gonna find one of the glow bugs that he doesn't like very much. And he's gonna kind of treat it like a balloon and kind of like bap it over the divide, the other side.
All right, so you hit the bug and you hear as it's smacked over to the other side, and you hear a number of concerned voices, and then they all coo and, oh, poor little thing. And you hear the glow bug buzz in a fake injury.
Little weasel.
To another cacophony of coos.
Akalupu's just gonna laugh and smack whoever's next to him on the back of the back shoulder and just laugh some more. He's quite pleased with himself.
All right.
Manawa knew he's going to try not to choke to death because he was in the middle of eating something when that happened to him.
Okay, so you guys are enjoying the feast. When suddenly you guys spot a small slithering black shape coming out of a fallen log nearby, straight toward the center of the glowing light. Snake! And indeed, 'tis a snake. And there's a short moment of shock before immediately everyone looks at the three of you and says, "Well, you're men now. You know the Kapu. Go for it."
Quick question. Oh, that's right. I remember.
Yeah, Akalupu's gonna try to grab it by the tail.
What would that be? Would that be like
My computer keeps turning off.
acrobatics?
Yeah, what do I need to roll?
Alright, so Akalupu is going to grab the snake, so initially it is going to be an attack roll. So an unarmed attack roll to try and grab it.
That'd be your fist, I think.
But I'm like trained in my fist.
Yeah, you can be like trained in like hand-to-hand combat. Still, you're like not armed.
And I roll my fist? Does that count?
Yes, that would be your unarmed attack.
Okay. 11.
Alright.
Wow.
So you grab at the snake, and you manage to almost get it, but it slithers off to the side, and it is going to try to bite you. Yeah, that's going to hit.
Oh. It's good knowing you.
Alright, Agalupu, you take 3 damage, and I am going to need a fortitude save.
Let's see. Let me. Where did we were we able to so was I do I start at like full health?
Yeah, you can get rid of the goat to nad damage.
Okay.
I just increased it by 1.
Okay, and then fortitude?
Correct.
Maybe we should do it. Hit the button.
Why don't you want to hit the button?
Because I have bad luck. Wow, you have worse luck. I got an 11. And I have a
Alright.
+7. So he rolled a 4.
Yeah, that is not gonna do it.
I told you should do it.
So yeah, you are. I think there's actually state for poison we can do, right? Be under conditions or maybe afflictions.
Oh, okay.
I don't see what I'm looking for, so I'm not sure how you apply it properly. Maybe temporary adjustments? Nope.
Would it be conditions and states? Afflictions?
I kind of looked at that. I didn't see what I was looking for.
Oh, I could have a disease. I could have an addiction.
You're
Yes,
addicted to snake venom.
let's give you a disease. That sounds like fun.
See, there's drugs. There's blood sap. What's blood sap? Traits: alchemical, consumable, drug, ingested, poison. We also have tuberculosis.
Just Arthur from
Well, let's see. Okay, so it's just poison damage. So we'll go through all of the rounds real quick. So you're gonna take 1d6 poison damage, and then another saving throw. Some other fortitude save.
Okay, so wait, so I take another point of damage?
a D6.
You take 4 more damage, and then I need another fortitude save.
Gosh darn it, this snake.
Told you I shouldn't have rolled.
23.
Oh, see?
Alright.
See?
So you're able to shake it off pretty quickly, and that is it. You feel a bit woozy, but otherwise just mad and in pain and poisoned.
I'm gonna try again.
Alright, someone else gets to try first.
Dang it!
Can I?
Alright,
Can I
Mono
try?
Anui or Pipiopi, one of you goes. Yes, Mono Anui, if you'd like to try, go for it.
While the snake is latched on to Akalupu.
Sure,
Wanna-
I'll give you that. It is flat-footed.
Alright, I got a 22.
Alright, that will do it. Now roll damage.
Alrighty. Dang it! I got a 1.
You got weak baby fingers.
Dude, like it was like a 1. It was a D4, right? So there's only 4 options. And I
Alright,
got
so
the lowest.
you manage to grab the snake by its tail, and you start trying to swing it around and like hit it against things, but your little weak baby arms didn't do much. So it's gonna try to
Dang
bite
it.
you.
$20. Oh my goodness.
You dead, son.
Can I even do a fortitude save?
That's more
Or
like
a reflex
that's
save?
more than your entire hit points.
Well, that's to hit.
Yeah.
That's not damage.
Oh, good.
So it's gonna do double damage though.
So 6.
Yes, so
I'm
you
gonna
take
die.
6
Like
points
half
of
your life.
damage.
I know, dude. Like I've
And-
got,
I also need a fortitude save from you.
dude.
So die.
I'm gonna die.
You know what part of the problem is? Did
I
anyone
got a
actually
13.
level themselves up?
I did not.
No.
Nope.
I told you guys to level yourselves up before the next
How
game.
do I level up?
I forgot. It was
Alright,
like,
what
how
was
do I
your-
level up? I'm
what
doing
is
it
your-
right now.
Part of the problem is I don't know what that means.
To level your character
Like-
up?
Yeah, is it just a button that I press?
You go to
not
my
just
class.
that, but yeah, if you go to your character sheet and then you go to your my classes, there will be a button to add XP, and so since we're not doing XP, you're just going to level yourself up, which means give yourself 1,000 XP, and then there will be a button to add another class level. And then from there, you'll get new things for your class, you'll get new ability scores, and other things that you'll need to fill out based off of leveling up. But we can sit through and do that after the session, because I think people have a little extra time today anyway.
I don't think I'm gonna make it. Because I got hit with that coconut, which took 4 points of damage. Now I'm barely holding on here. I need you to make a fortitude save, or did I already do that?
I think you did, but I don't remember what you said you got.
What did I get, baby?
Huh? What?
What did I say I got?
On what?
My fortitude save.
I don't remember.
I don't think it was good, because I remember being disappointed.
Here we go. Fortitude save from Monomoanui, 13.
There we go.
Yep, so we'll see if that is enough.
Yeah, something tells me it's not gonna be. Oh, this is the end. I see Archibald flying over.
Alright,
I
so...
hear my death song.
Not enough. So you're going
Yeah.
to take 1d6 damage.
Oh, please be something below a 3. I mean,
3
it's
exactly.
a 3. Can I cast, like, stabilize on myself?
What does stabilize do?
It stops me from dying.
Oh, no, because if you were dying, you'd be unconscious. And you
Dang
can't
it.
cast spells when you're unconscious.
So, theoretically, if I've reached 0 hit points...
You're now unconscious.
Okay, there we go.
Alright, PPOP, you're up.
Log out. I gotta increase my hit points.
Okay, and it has to be with my bare hands, right?
Yes, the Kapu, as written, is... let's see, where is it? If you see a snake, someone in the group must try to grab it by the tail and swing it to death.
Ah. Okay. I'm gonna first throw my dagger to try and pin it to the ground like a chain chomp.
Okay. Let's get a ranged attack roll then.
Oops. 14.
Alright, let's see if that is enough to hit. No. So you miss.
Okay, I use that as a distraction and I pounce.
Alright, so go for it. Unarmed attack roll.
Unarmed attack roll. 19.
Alright, you got a hold of it. Let's see damage.
5.
Okay. So, you are finally able to get a hold of this thing. And you start just swinging it as hard as you can around your head and then slam it into the, I don't know, let's say your knife spun. Is it your new knife, I would assume?
I didn't throw my new knife. That one's dear to my heart. That one's still in my pocket.
Oh, that's true. We have to see if your old knife broke anyway. Alright, on a 4 it breaks. It does not break. So it spun around and it ended up missing, going past it, and then landing handle first, sticking in the sand. So you swing it around your head and then slam it down head first into your knife, and you get it eventually. So you stab it right through at the base of the skull, and it shakes and slithers and twitches for a few moments, and then eventually goes still.
Ah ha 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 ha. I grab the other end of the stick dagger that stabbed it, and I carry it over to Loki's hut and pin it on the door.
Alright. Meanwhile, Monoanui, you are surrounded by a large group of the men of the tribe who are just laughing their asses off at your failure.
Hey, at least I did damage, unlike a certain hulking fellow.
Oh, they're laughing at Akalupu too, for sure. But you are quickly patched up. And even though the venom does burn like fire for a few minutes, it does slowly calm down, and you don't seem to be have any lasting damage, thanks to the healing that you receive.
There we go. Quick question. What's a feat?
Feats are special things that you're able to
Walk.
do. So they just come with all kinds of different bonuses. It could be a new action that you can perform. It could be the ability to use different types of weapons than your class would normally have. It could give you a bonus to your reflex saves. They do all kinds of different things.
Thomas is talking. Can you not hear him?
I cannot hear it.
Abe couldn't hear you. He missed that entire.
Well, I guess we will save that for leveling up then.
Thomas says we will save that for leveling up. So stop leveling up.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Cool.
All right. So that little adventure aside, the feast goes fairly smoothly. And partway through, while you guys are still enjoying yourselves and getting over poisons and whatnot,
Getting over poisons.
PPOP, you feel a pebble strike you in the back of the neck. And then if you ignore it, after a few minutes, another one hits you.
Oh shoot, I was on mute.
Ah.
What the hell is that?
So you turn around and you can see hiding behind a hut, kind of near the dividing line. You can see Sammy, who's like trying not to look in your direction, while like still trying to still see you guys ish enough to throw rocks at you evidently. And she's just like doing the come over here kind of hand signal.
I activate stealth and sneak around behind the hut the other way to surprise her.
Alright, let's get a stealth roll, which is one that I roll, so I'll do that real quick. And yeah, you actually have a chance at it because, like I said, due to the Kapu, she's like trying not to look because you're not allowed to eat in sight of the opposite gender. So let's see what your stealth is. Stealth is a +7. Alright. So you make your way over. You definitely make some noise, though. So she's like a little bit surprised that you're coming up the other side, but not entirely.
Ah, thought I'd get ya.
Well, you almost did. But here, and so she hands you a small bowl filled with the kind of milky liquid that you recognize from earlier when you asked her to get you some. It is the special drink.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah, I managed to grab you guys a little bit early, but don't let anyone else see you drinking it. It's not supposed to be for until later.
Okay, I won't. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now get back over there before we get in trouble.
Okay, goodbye.
Alright,
I sneak away.
That is almost an hour and 50 minutes. Are we ready to go ahead and wrap up and we'll pick up next time? Or do people want to continue with the feast?
I don't want to upgrade my character.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, that is probably a good idea because we haven't even gotten to, the Island Olympics. and you might want your stats to be
Yeah.
as good as possible for that. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up here. And as always, we'll go through what everyone learned. So, Mana Wanui, what have you learned?
I learned that if you touch things, you can learn stuff.
But do you understand any of
You know, maybe I should have just touched more. That's what I learned. Sometimes you just gotta touch everything
it? There you go.
to truly understand it.
All right. And PPOP, what have you learned?
PPOP learned that Manawanui is not so great at football, but Akalupu would be a great asset to the team.
So you're just gonna end up picked last for football. Dang.
I mean, again, like, is this new?
You could be the kicker.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
And then Sammy can do the Peanuts thing where every time he tries to kick, she just pulls the ball away.
That's
All
great.
right. What did Akalupu learn?
Akalupu learned a couple of things. One,
Science is delicious.
yes, science is delicious. And two, that snakes are fast, and that's annoying.
Yup. And the snakes are only just gonna get meaner. That was like the lowest level snake in the book. Alright. Well, thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you had a great game. I know I did, and I will see you guys next time.